Alright, welcome back. This is to another video. This is Referred Snow. I hope this series has been good. Being my first time actually recording my time in a world. In between episodes, I have completed the Industrial Foregoing, which has gotten me the dimensional resources, which has gotten me a bunch of upgrades for anything mechanism or thermal series. And I have completed this, which has given me a block of nether stars. Today I am working on Botanica. I'm probably not gonna I'm probably not gonna fight the Gaia Guardian today. I'm just gonna get as far as I can in this to get the flux dust and the Terra Steel. I'm not sure if I will fight the Gaia Guardian today, but you may have already seen me use this earlier in the series to get different colored dyes, but you craft the floral fertilizer of 4 dyes in a bone meal, and when you use it, it gets you flowers from Botanica that you will then be able to use to create you stuff you might need for it. And I'm just gonna, before I forget, because this is a and something I also found out is I think it's mostly due to where I am. Being I'm technically in a jungle biome, as you can see under my mini map, but when I placed a bunch of grass, I started spawning cows, parrots, chickens, and ocelots. And one of the main things you need from this is the Petal Apothecary. And you want to have plenty of space for this. And one of the things you need are pure daisies, which requires white, the white petals. And the cool thing about the pure daisy is if you put water near it, no, pretty much what the pure daisy does is what gets you a lot of the materials you'll need for the thing, because the pure daisy can turn stone into living rock and wood into living wood or something like that. I have to double check the name of it. And something else I did during in between sessions is I set up a small enchantment table in order to get silk touch to make grass, because I am not waiting for a ginormous patch of grass like this to grow. Yeah, because you get snow from the pure daisies. Excuse me. And living rock. You get living wood and living rock, which gets you the wand and allows you to craft all the major stuff in this pack. This mod. The downside is you need white petals. So you have to spawn a bunch of flowers in order to get it. Fortunately, if you're only making one, you only need 4. Something else you need for this is water. So when you fill it up with water, it gives you this fancy screen, and you can see the petal I threw in already is in there, and you can even see it floating around in the water. And once you have 4, and you hit it with seeds, or throw seeds in, you get a pure daisy. I'll probably make more, but when you put water near the pure daisy, you give it a little bit, because it takes a tiny bit for it to process it. It's also been a little bit since I've done this portion of the mod pack, so I can't remember if the water can be flowing or not. But And I forget that you just can't do that. But the main thing with the pure daisy is when you put stuff near it, it should stop. It should, and it only affects the 8 blocks around it, so you can only do 8 at a time. And it takes a little bit for it to work, do anything, but once you have 16 living wood and rocks, you need to make a one of the forest, which is taking living wood, making living wood twigs, and 2 of any petal or full, 2 of any petal, or mushrooms. Like that, you get the wand of the forest, which allows you to manipulate where your mana flows with the mana spreader and runic altar. The runic altar. And this one, oh, I hear it going. There it is. And I completely forgot it requires silk touch for that. That's my fault. So it takes time. There we go. Got a little pet now. I'm gonna have him sit there. Oh, I'll deal with that later because it requires a shovel, and I currently don't have a shovel crafted like an idiot. I'm gonna have that going. And usually these are super. Usually these are super rare in the original mod, but they've made a craft because you can't because normally it's not craftable. But by using Powa and if you have 50,000 FE available of 6 black flowers and 2 diamonds, you get a blacker lotus, which gives you a infinite supply of lotus of mana per one of these. So if you have a way to make infinite blacker lotuses, you have infinite mana. because to make the runes you need for stuff like the time in a bottle, you need mana in order to operate the runic altar clock, runic altar, and the ability to make flux dust, which requires mana as well. And of course, you're gonna need these for the the end game Botanica crafts, like the mana tablet, which and the only way to get standard black lotuses is through chests. So the only way you could do it is through the nether and just going through a bunch of nether stuff. But one of the things I'm working on getting is the tier 9001 resource generator, which when you craft it with all the stuff in here, you get a full stack of whatever you put into the resource generator, and it gives you infinite full stacks, and you have infinite items. But it's going to be a little bit before I go to that far. Since I still have to make my infinite storage for anything. I need to make the storage, which I probably should be doing while I wait for all this to go. Because not everything's able to be put into the EMC table, such as living rock. So you have to make your own. You have to use the refined storage, which also has a interface that allows you to use your detach it. You're able to pull any of the items, and you're able to pull you're able to get access to all your items from the EMC network from your infinite storage. But from my experience, in order to make sure they're in your you could get it through your EMC table, you still have to teach it to your EMC table. Whoops. And one of the things I'll probably be passively doing in the background is just making a bunch of this until I have the infinite mana resource generation. Let's work on. Once this goes, I'll continue that. This is also going to be a slightly longer episode due to me posting once a week now instead of twice. So this will probably be around more closer to an hour to hour and a half, about double my usual video length. I would have more. I probably would have actual time lapses of stuff like this if I had downloaded the replay mod for this version of Minecraft. So that will be one of my priorities. Now, I'll probably be with the next mod pack. It's probably gonna be my own personal mod pack. I'm still teaching I'm still learning how to set up. It's not going to have stuff like quests put into it because it's my own personal mod pack. But whenever I finish my series or whatever, I'll probably post that on to make it public for CurseForge, since that's the one I use, the mod pack, the mod serve service I use the most. A lot of these are pretty self-explanatory things to make. This mod also can take quite a few diamonds to do as well. Endoflame, brown, 2 brown, light gray, red. Actually, I'm gonna make 2 endoflames because they are a bit messier to work with for mana generation, but it's a good mana generation resource. And every time you need seeds, so how the endoflames work is if you and then you bind them to the endoflames, and if you drop burnable items, so in this case coal, they take those, and the mana spreader, once it's bind to them, creates mana from the coal, hence being the slower method. And each of these requires a specific amount of mana for it to actually do anything, unless I'm forgetting how to use it. Because there's always a chance I'm forgetting how to use it. Getting in the way. It's been a minute since I've done this, as I've said already, so I could be messing it up. But I'm pretty sure once it has enough mana, this is also just a slow, really slow method of mana generation. Usually once I'm able to, I will start using Blocker Lotus. So now you can see I got a mana diamond. And when I do this with Living Rock, I get the Runic Altar. I remember being given the Lexima Botanica. Oh well. But I can show you what the process for the Blacker Lotus is, which let me go to my this, and it takes 5 million, which I don't have all that, but I do have enough for it to go through most of the 5 million. I just have to regenerate another million. Oh, can't touch power lines. Always forget about that. So I'll come back to that once it's fully finished. Whoops. But until then, I'm stuck relying on a bunch of the endoflames. Don't know if I've got enough to make more. Okay, so endoflames require. I always forget I have to do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Alright, I am back because mana generation takes forever, and I found a better fuel source for getting the mana. And while I was way in between it, I was working on getting the runes you need in order to make the time bottle. Because in order to make time in bottle, you need a rune of each of the seasons, so spring, winter, autumn, summer, and a clock. In order to make runes of the seasonal runes, you need the element, the runes of the elements, so earth, fire, air, water, which I crafted off screen just because it took a while and I was bored. But I'm going to show you how these work, and I'll continue these on camera or off camera depending on how much I'm working on it. But I'm working on the rune of spring, which requires the rune of water, rune of fire, wheat, and saplings. And the runes are multi-purpose. All you have to do is just right-click right-click all your items into it. And you need a piece of living rock and your wand of the forest. And you want to have your mana spreader pointing into the thing to put input mana into it. And the best fuel source I've found for the endoflames are blocks of coal, because I put this in like 10 or 20 minutes ago my current time, and it's not like 10-20, but it's lasting a really long time producing, and it's producing mana strong. And that's only 4 endoflames and 4 blocks of coals, since each one takes a flammable object. It doesn't. I tried lava buckets off camera, but they don't. It does not like lava buckets. So it has to be something like coal, charcoal, coal block, wood, anything flammable. So anything you normally are able to burn down or smelt stuff with, other than lava buckets, of course. And once it's fully done charging with mana, you place. Oh, you right click the thing rock onto the altar, and left click the altar with your right click with the runes, and your original runes stay with you. And whenever you craft the runes of earth, fire, air, and all the elemental runes, it gives you 2 of them, so it doesn't really matter too much. I don't think I have any leaves at the moment. No. I did stupid. And we'll have to sprint the. Come on. I'll be back. Sorry about that. My mic was not turned on when I was recording this. It was just me gathering materials in order to complete the runes I was working on in the last clip. So just watch what I was doing, and I can't really explain it because I'm not working on it at the moment. I'm just trying to get my video ready for you guys to be going. So I do apologize for that mistake. I realized my mic was put up and my mic was off during this clip. So for about 5 minutes, it's just me working on all the stuff, most of the stuff I was working on with the runic altar. So the time in the bottle and the runes I showed you in the previous clip. So I do apologize for that. Alright, I'm back and I have figured out how to set up the terrestrial amalgamation plate. Using the Botanica, which is just a book and a sapling and a crafting table, you get this, and if there's something from it, and you have it from Botanica and something from Botanica, and you can either hold control and you're here, in here, or sneak the view entry after, and just right click after, and it'll tell you all about the item. So what you do with this is you make a cross, a 3x3 cross, so living rock here, under this, there, there, there. Then you have 4 lapis lazuli blocks in those spaces there, and then you put your terrestrial living rock plate. You take your mana spreader, aim it towards the plate, drop mana steel. You pretty much put all these onto, you drop all these here. It starts doing this. It takes about half of mana pool's worth of mana, so it takes a little bit to do. And when it finishes, you'll have Terra Steel. After that, for some of the other stuff that you need to do, like get the upgraded version to Lexa Botanica, you need something called Elven Trade, Elven Gateway Core, which also requires mana, but it's also just something I'm not working on today. The farthest I'm going is to get the Terra Steel, and once that has finished, I'll start working on getting the, now at the very least, get a refined storage setup going. That way I don't have to deal with my mess of chests over there. And really the biggest downside is it doesn't really give you a whole lot on how long it's going to, it doesn't give you a progress bar. So you just got to sit there and wait. And don't stand on them, because if you pick them up, it interrupts the process and you have to restart from the beginning. I will start just getting the basic stuff started I can do from here for this, like the enriched iron. And sadly, it's not stackable. And I forget how much I need for this. Machine casing, stone. Shoot. I think I accidentally let it despawn. Oh well, I will do that in between episodes because that was my mess up by not paying attention to it. Crafting grid, advanced processor. So I need advanced processor for one. I'm gonna move it over here just because it's a lot. I got a lot more of my stuff over here. Quartz. Excuse me. So this is your main power thing. It controls everything in your thing. Cables are what connect everything, help connect everything. Last major thing I need is the crafting grid, which takes a little bit. And for now, I'm just going to power this off of one of my dynamos because I need to make a better power generation setup when I have a time. I might do that in between episodes and I'll show you it later. So, yep, you could get into it. Disk drive, which takes to these disks. Although I'm probably not going to use the pattern grid in Crafter unless I need to. Oh, that requires a medium resource capsule. Other than that, it's pretty affordable. But nice, other than just adding that, if I'm adding something new, physically adding it to my thing, I'm going to have a bit of a cleaner setup. And once I have a better power setup, it'll be good. Fluid storage, let's work on these. And I think I might stop here for now, just because I'm running out of time and this is going to take a ridiculously long time to mass produce these parts. But next episode, I'll continue, maybe do the boss fight for that once I have everything I need for that. If I decide to continue doing to get to the boss fight for Botanica, but I might either do Flux. I'll probably continue the storage, like major stuff like the transmutation, but I'm probably gonna work on getting the max storage as I can, which requires nether stars. And the two different parts, ones are for fluid, so you could just store fluid straight in this. The main reason why I'm doing this is so I don't have to go searching through a bunch of different chests and I could clean the storage area up a bit better. Oh yeah, I'll also probably work on cataclysmic conversion to get higher tiers of catalysts. But to show you what it takes is once you have a cataclysmic converter, you take the essences that you get from the item flowers that we were working on in mystical agriculture. From the seeds that we were working on getting in mystical agriculture, you get something called an essence, which you need a stack of each of the essences and a tier 1 midi catalyst inside a cataclysmic converter, which will become a tier 1 catalyst. And then same thing with you doing the same thing with a tier 1 catalyst will make you a large tier 1 catalyst. So it just requires a lot of the essence. So I'll probably work on that. So I can get my infinite items because I could really use those. I also probably start because I am not going to fight the boss that's associated with this right now. I might do that in the future because it's a really difficult boss and I need to get the armor from the boss's mod in order to do that. From Draconic Evolution, if you've watched Insane Craft, you've seen the boss for it. The Insane Craft from Sunday's videos. You would recognize the boss from that if I decide to do that and the armor from that. Let's make a quick stop to the nether. To the end, sorry. Or... oh, yep. Perfect. So I can finish off the encapsulating on camera. Let's just throw all this into the thing because it's getting in my way. If you take 4 stacks of advanced nether crystal catalysts or capsules, oh, whoops. Let's go grab 4 more of those. You get another star. If you take all this and put them together, you get a dragon head. And you complete the chapter. Which also gives me the stuff I need. The craft. Oh yeah, it does give me all the stuff I need for crafting the thing, other than assign EMC link. These are large catalysts, and the reward I got from it were large catalysts, yeah. So when you complete the encapsulating, it gives you all the stuff you need for it. But for sourceful bees, you could get items to also create upgrade, which will also allow you to upgrade your catalysts. I am curious, how do you get a chaos bee while I'm looking at it? You have to go through Draconium, it looks like. Yeah, because you have to breed with a dragon bee, awakened draconium bees. How do you get the awakened draconium? Oh, it's an egg, and you smelt induction smelt them. So I think next episode we'll work on bees because that sounds like fun. A bunch of bees because they are important for stuff like the chaos shards since they are kind of needed for endgame. Oh, there you are. Other than that, if you made it this far in the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And with that, signing off. Goodbye for today.